3 years ago, I bought my first mortgage note. A year later, my business partner quit. And it wasn't the note that broke her. It was what nobody was willing to give us. That's the part of the story that I don't usually tell. Everybody wants the highlight reel. And today I want to tell you about the wall I hit. Because if you got capital sitting somewhere right now, wondering if this space is for you, I think you need to hear this before you need the highlight reel. I didn't start alone. I partnered with someone else, and we pooled what we had to buy our first note, around $45,000, secured against a house with close to $90,000. Low loan to value on purpose. If something went wrong, we wanted room to work with, not a note where we already underwater from day one. And something did go wrong almost right away. The note itself, the actual legal document proving the debt, had been lost somewhere upstream before it even reached us. That happens more than people think. Notes get sold, resold, and then transferred between servicers, and the paperwork doesn't always follow cleanly. We had to file what's called a loss note affidavit, a sworn legal statement that lets you enforce your position on the note even when the original document can't be produced. It's not exotic, it's a known legal remedy, but it's not something you want to be learning for the first time with your own money on the line. We worked with an attorney, documented the chain of title as best as we could, and we got it resolved. Here's what that experience actually taught us to check on every deal since. Who has recorded the assignment? Whether the endorsement on the note are in order, and whether title insurance is in place. Most of the time, none of that is an issue. But knowing how to verify it, instead of just trusting that it's fine, is the difference between owning a note and owning a problem you just don't know about yet. Once our situation was cleaned up, we had airtight paper. Arguably better than a lot of notes that never had any issue in the first place, because ours had been scrutinized start to finish. The borrower, for what it's worth, caught up with a couple of months, and that note went on to perform well for years after. The mess didn't hurt us, it protected us once we understood it. Hey, I'm Mario Pinar, and my wife Lorena and I run Ritzel Notes. We buy and sell mortgage notes and step into the lender's seat instead of the landlord's. We've been in real estate since 2006, and over the last several years we shifted from owning property directly to owning the debt behind it. If any of this is new to you and it's landing with you, we run a free 5-day challenge that walks through exactly how this works. No obligation. The link is below. If it's helping, a like or subscribe means a lot to us. It's how more people find this. Now, back to the story. Because it's not done, and neither is what I learned from it. Quick word on why we structured the first note the way we did. Loan to value is just the loan balance compared to the property's value. So a $45,000 note on a $90,000 house is roughly 50% loan to value. That gap is your cushion. If a borrower stops paying and eventually comes down to taking back the property, a low loan to value means there's real equity on your side, not a property worth less than what's owned to you. We didn't know yet how much we need that cushion. We just knew we wanted it. That first note wasn't the one that tested us. Less than a year in, on that same note, the borrower ran into trouble again and missed the payment. Nothing catastrophic in the grand scheme of things. There are ways to work through it, from a repayment plan to worst case, taking back the property with equity already in our favor because of that low loan to value. But my partner couldn't sit with the uncertainty. One missed payment and she was already picturing the worst case, month after month, waiting for the next one to slip. She'd rather have steady paycheck than carrying the feeling. She went back to 9 to 5, and honestly, I don't blame her. That instability is real, and carrying it completely alone, with no one to talk it through with, makes it heavier than it needs to be. Looking back, it wasn't the note that beat us. It was being alone in it. Every dollar we had was already in that one position. We didn't have capital sitting in reserve to keep building while we work through the problem. And here's the part that took me way too long to admit. Nobody was offering to stand alongside us. Not a partner with capital willing to share the position, not a structure where someone else's money comes in and the risk gets split properly. It was buy the whole thing yourself or don't buy it all. That's the real wall. Not the paperwork, not the missed payment, the capital, and being on my own with it. And that's not unique to us. It's how the whole industry tends to set things up. Most people in this space sell you one of two things: education, so you can go and figure it out yourself, or a note, and then they're gone. Nobody was breaching that gap. Nobody was saying, come learn this with us, and then let's actually do it together with your capital and our experience both in the deal. We're splitting this into two parts. One's the story, what we actually went through. But if you want a practical breakdown of how people actually get into the space and which path fits where you are right now, that's the next video. Check it out after this one or come back for it. Since then, I've bought a land note and a mobile home note. You know, the kind a lot of investors won't touch. Structured right, with the protection I didn't have the first time, verifying title, understanding the collateral, checking the paperwork before the money moves instead of after, they turned out to be some of the best decisions. Not because they were exotic, but because we finally knew what to check. But none of that solved the actual constraint. Capital did that. And since nobody offered me the thing I actually needed, we bought it. A way for someone with capital to stand alongside us, instead of standing alone the way we did. I'm not telling you this so you feel bad for a note that went sideways 3 years ago. I'm telling you because you've got capital sitting somewhere, underperforming, and you've been circling this space wondering if it's for you. You don't have to find out the way I did. You don't have to lose a partner over a missed payment. And you don't have to run out of capital just to keep building. Start with our free 5-day challenge. No obligation, the link is below. See what this actually looks like before you decide anything. Become the bank.